Right now, try lowering yourself into a full squat, heels flat, no chair behind you. Most adults can't hold it more than a minute. A 3-year-old could do it for an hour without noticing. Something happened to your body between then and now, and it has nothing to do with getting older. For most of human history, this exact position, hips low, knees bent, heels down, was how people rested. It wasn't a workout or a stretch. It was simply the default way to take a break. In 2020, a team of researchers led by David Raichlen studied the Hadza, a hunter-gatherer population in Tanzania, using accelerometers and electromyography, sensors that measure actual muscle activity in real time. They tracked how the Hadza spent their non-walking hours, expecting to find a population that rested the way industrialized humans do, seated, muscles switched off. That's not what they found. Hadza adults spent close to 10 hours a day in what researchers call non-ambulatory postures, not moving, not working. But instead of sitting in chairs, they squatted or knelt. And when the team measured muscle activity during that squatting, it was significantly higher than muscle activity during ordinary chair sitting. They were resting. Their muscles didn't get the memo. Rachlin's conclusion was blunt. These active resting postures are likely ancient, and the recent invention of chair sitting may be what's actually harmful, not the squatting. This isn't just behavioral. It shows up in bones. Bioarchaeologists studying skeletons from populations across the world, from ancient Egypt to late woodland era Illinois, have documented something called squatting facets. Small, smooth, circumscribed surfaces that form on the ankle and foot bones, specifically from years of habitual deep squatting. You cannot fake a squatting facet. A few squats won't produce one. It takes thousands of hours in that position over a lifetime as a default resting posture rather than an occasional exercise. Your ankles, if you're someone who has sat in chairs your entire life, almost certainly don't have one. Your anatomy hasn't changed. A 3-year-old today, born in the same modern world you were, can still drop into a full squat and stay there, playing, completely unbothered, hips loose, heels flat. The joint mobility is still there in childhood, and adults in squatting cultures keep that same range their entire lives. So here's the real question. What actually changes? The chair does. Once you sit in raised seating for years, specific tissues shorten to match the position you hold most. The calves, the hip flexors, the deep muscles around the ankle joint. Your tissue is simply adapting, accurately, to the position it's asked to hold for 8, 10, 12 hours a day. The body doesn't know the chair is temporary. As far as your tissue is concerned, that's just where you live now. Ethnographic surveys collected across dozens of cultures, compiled by researchers at Yale's Human Relations Area Files, describe this same pattern again and again. Adults in societies without widespread chair use, resting in a squat or a kneel as the unremarkable default position for eating, working, talking, waiting. Simply what a body at rest looks like when nothing has trained it to do otherwise. Which raises the uncomfortable part. If squatting is the position your joints were shaped to return to by default, then sitting in a chair isn't neutral. It's not resting the way you assume it is. Raichlen's own data shows chair sitting produces some of the lowest muscle activity of any common posture, lower than squatting, lower than kneeling, low enough that researchers now suspect it's part of why prolonged chair use correlates with the same health risks, cardiovascular strain, metabolic decline, as full inactivity. You can spend the same 9 or 10 hours resting as a Hadza forager and get a completely different physiological result, depending on which position your rest happens in. Nobody is telling you to throw out your chair. But the next time you crouch down to pick something up off the floor, heels lifting, knees complaining, balance uncertain, Know what you're actually feeling. Not weakness, not age, just years of practicing something else. Right now, somewhere, a child is squatting flat-footed on a kitchen floor, completely at rest, without a single thought about it. Give it 20 years of chairs, and they won't be able to either.